Hi everyone. Hi everyone. How are you? Am I audible, visible to all of you? Please clarify. Please tell me if I'm clearly visible, audible to all of you. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mohan. Good evening, Ash. Yeah, all good. Pratik, good evening. Very good evening to all of you. Yes, yes. So you know the agenda of the session already. So you're aware that's like almost 275 days left for CAT now. It may be a little more depending on the exact date of CAT. So if you assume that it's the last Sunday, then it'll be a little more than 280, but yeah, 275 roughly. So many of you are starting your preparation at this stage, and you are like really anxious about whether this is enough time, whether we are a little late because people start in January, also people start in December, and so all these questions are natural, and that's why we keep getting a lot of queries about such things. So we thought we'll do another AMA on this. So I'll just run it like this: that first I'll tell you a few things that are applicable to everyone, and irrespective of whether you are starting a preparation now or you're a repeater, or it applies to all, and then it's open to your questions. I'll try and address everyone's questions. Mohan, I'll take all the doubts. Okay, so okay, so Mohan asked a small question that I'll address before I get on with the agenda. Mohan is already a student. He says that he's got a call from NMIMS and done with the interview. What should be the agenda? If it's a single call for you, Mohan, I would suggest that you don't wait for the result. You have already prepared for CAT earlier, right? So you continue your preparation. Do not break the momentum, and uh, hope for the best. And let's hope you convert the call. You go to NM, but be prepared for the worst. What is the worst? You don't convert it. God forbid it happens. Then you should be prepared. So don't break the momentum. Continue with your preparation. If it happens, NMMS, I hope, I wish you all the best. It happens, right? Go there and you can then leave all this, unless you have ambition of getting into a top IM or something like that. Otherwise, don't break the momentum. Continue with your preparation. It will not take much at this stage. But if you break it once, then it gets doubly difficult, right? So don't do that. Good evening, Ronak. Yes, yes, I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that. Good evening. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Right. So if you ask me what one should do at this stage, this is like roughly 9 months left for CAT, and I'll probably make a small video on that as well. Right. But if you ask me depending on the time that is left, what should one do at this stage? So irrespective of whether you're repeating it or whether you're starting afresh, I would say the first 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, it's a little flexible depending upon at what stage you stand currently. You should give it to concepts, basics, fundamentals. What is the meaning? The meaning is that I would keep in mind somebody who's a fresher, absolutely, because if you are not uninitiated, you understand what I mean. So the first 3 months, 4 months should be given to concepts. By concepts mean that you learn the basics of arithmetic, of algebra, of permutation combination, uh, how to solve RC passages, how to answers in the form that appear in the form of LRDI puzzles, right? All these things. So there are things, though this is an aptitude test, there are things for which you need to learn stuff. If you look at them now, because it's not something that you haven't seen earlier, all the puzzles, all the quant questions, all the RC passages, these are stuff that would look familiar. But still, if you look at this stage, you would not be in a position where you can crack them fast and you can crack them accurately. So what is advisable at this stage is, do not look at anybody else, do not chase anything, do not compare yourself with people who have been preparing for long, and just focus on building the basics. Do not chase speed. If anything, look for accuracy at this stage. Build your fundamentals, understand how profit and loss works, how simple interest and compound interest works, the fundamentals of time speed distance, alligation, mixed solution, all those things, all the topics in quant, LRDI, and verbal. And do not worry at all about the speed. Fine, learn it first. Focus on accuracy, focus on attending the lectures, and doing the exercise sheets, practice sheets, DPPs, whatever you get. And you might be slow in the beginning, but don't trouble yourself by thinking that I'm slow, that I take time in responding, that I take time in answering. Focus on accuracy, get your concepts right, be patient. So this phase of 3-4 months would be very important for you to build a solid foundation. Now, this is not hard coded that it will be 3-4 months. For somebody, it can be 4-5 months as well. For somebody else who has done it earlier, it can be 2 months as well. But what I'm trying to say is that the first phase, approximately 3 months, 2 months for people who are repeating, 4-5 months for people who are starting afresh, should be given to again building your concepts. For people who are repeating, it can be devoted to things. There'll be topics in which you are good, there would topics in which we're not so good. So given to again building the foundation, plugging the gaps, making it watertight completely. So this is the first phase. At this phase, I would say that you start working on topic tests. Topic tests would mean that if you are done with the fundamentals of profit and loss, for example, then you take a test on profit and loss to see whether your understanding is right or not, whether you've learned everything, whether there are any gaps in the learning, like that. So it doesn't mean that you delay your topic tests or even smaller tests to a later stage because you've just started. So, for example, if you're done with 3-4 lectures of percentage of profit and loss, you can start taking small tests, but restrict yourself to only that particular area. That would make sense at this stage. A question comes, when do I start testing? So it doesn't mean anything. What kind of testing are you asking about? If you are asking me about mock tests, for example, because this is a question that many of you in any case are going to ask me, then I would say mock tests can wait at this stage. For somebody who's repeating, maybe you can start in April itself, May, fine. But somebody who's fresh, who has to work a lot on the fundamentals, mock tests, the full length mock tests at least can wait till May, June, even July in some cases, depends on when you start. What you need to do instead at this stage is that whatever topics you learn, you do in the classes, you do their exercise sheets and all. For those topics, you can start taking small tests. In the Rodha portal also, you'll find many such tests. So start taking those tests, because then you are testing the waters. You are trying to evaluate your understanding of the whole thing, of the concepts, right? So this is important. And gradually then you can go into deeper testing. What is the meaning of deeper testing? So from topic tests in which you work on, say, a topic, percentage or profit and loss or whatever, right? To a section. A section would mean that you're taking a test of complete VARC, 40-minute test, a test of total LRDI, 5 sets, 40 minutes, or a total test of Quant with 20-25 questions. So this would be the second stage of testing. First stage would be topic tests. Second would be sectional tests, which you can start after a couple of months. मेरा suggestion ये होगा that you do not start it at least before completing half the syllabus. कम से कम आधा कर लेना. So if you're not done with even half the syllabus and you start taking them, you might end up getting demoralized. After that, it's up to you. If you're comfortable after doing 60-70% of the syllabus, it's fine. So roughly, I would say if you're starting now, 3-4 months, beyond 3-4 months, you'll be in a position where you can comfortably take sectional tests and get yourself into full-length tests as well. So this would be the progression. Topic first, then sectional, then full-length tests. Everybody who is preparing has to start with full-length tests latest by, I would say, August. So it depends. It varies for different people. But yes, in any case, you'll have to start by July, August. If you can do it earlier, you're feeling comfortable, you can do that. One piece of advice that I give to everyone is look at what you're getting into. Fine. So we would be teaching you, right? But would you not want to look at what you're getting into? Get the CAT papers. They are all available in public domain, and have a look at them. They would not feel alien. So when you hear that CAT is tough and all, you look at the papers, you'll realize that this is stuff that we have done. It is application, so it's a little tougher, right? But this is stuff that you've done. So when you look at a question of percentage of profit and loss or simple interest or stuff like that, you would realize that I've done it at some stage in my life. I might not be able to do it at this stage because I've forgotten, because these are a little tougher, but I have done it at some stage. So when you look at that, when you look at RC passages, when you look at those puzzles, they might seem like they're a little tougher than what I've done, but I've done this. It tells you, one, about what the paper is about. No, it's not an unknown territory. And two, it gives you some confidence. I know it. I'm not starting from zero. So this is advisable. Do it and progress like that. Concepts first, then some bit of test taking, and then full-fledged test taking. The last phase would be the last 3 months before CAT, in which you would get full-fledged, full throttle into test taking. And along with it, you would do refinement, polishing of your complete learning. The idea would be to, at that stage, convert your knowledge into marks. So this first phase, if I broadly divide into two broad parts. One is acquisition of knowledge. You learn stuff, right? You learn the topics, you learn the subjects. And two would be the ability to acquire the ability to convert this knowledge into marks. So these are two different skills. People lack in one and people lack in two as well. So when you don't score in CAT, you'll feel like I don't know stuff. No, maybe you do. Maybe you don't know how to convert that knowledge into marks. So this is equally important. So start thinking like that. And apart from it, look, everybody's journey is customizable. It's different, and you can apply it and then do it on your own. So these are things that apply to everyone, and for specific things I'm there. One more thing, a couple of more things, and then you can ask me anything. Be regular. So if you are planning to appear for CAT this year, be regular. By being regular, I would mean that don't do it like this. I'm motivated now, so I'll study 10 hours a day. I'll do it for 15 days. Now I'll not study for two weeks. No, don't do it like that. If you think you can manage comfortably only 6 hours, keep it at 6 hours, or 8 hours, or 4 hours. Depends on what your routine is. But do it religiously. Right? Do it religiously. Do not break it ever. Because once that discipline goes, now your preparation suffers. Number two, in that, when you're doing subjects regularly, do all three regularly. This is another branch of it. So what did I say? Study regularly, study daily. You can have an off day, that's fine. You can have a cheat day, that's fine. But be regular, and be regular in all three subjects. What do I mean by that? If you think you're weak in quant, so you'll think, I'll do only quant for 15 days. No. If you're good in English, would you not want to score heavily in English? Think about that. So do it regularly. Maybe quant requires 4 hours of your time daily. English just 1.5 hours. But do it regularly. Being regular pays rich dividends. Trust me, it helps. So 2-3 things I told you. Study regularly and do all the subjects regularly. You can decide your timetable on your own. So I'll not prescribe something like get up in the morning at 7 and do RC passages from 7 to 9. No, you might not need that. You might be already very good at it. So you would want to probably do quant first up, because this is where you would want your brain to be at its best. So it depends on you. I'm leaving it to you. But remember these basic things. Regular practice, doing regularly, and doing all the subjects regularly, and then you should be good. I'm now reading your comments, guys. Okay. So even if I don't take your name, don't think that I'm not addressing you, because I'll club the doubts and answer it one go. One thing which is very important for CAT, and this applies to everyone, is that you make it a part of your life. What do I mean that when I say you make it a part of your life, what I'm trying to tell you is that that stuff that you're doing should not seem alien. So for example, people ask me, how do you manage to do LRDI so easily? I'll tell you what, LRDI does not look like a subject to me. Trust me, it never did. So when I appeared for my first CAT 20 years back, it never looked like a subject to me, because I actually loved solving puzzles. So I'm not saying that start loving puzzles the way I do. It's different for different people, right? But you can try. So if you try, you try by doing a simple thing like start solving Sudoku. And I'm not saying that you should solve Sudoku to clear CAT. No, not at all. It's just that if you get comfortable with those grids, you start filling in numbers, you start doing those calculations mentally, you get fast, you get more agile mentally, it helps, right? So if you can change some of the things in the way you function in your daily life, it's definitely going to help you with CAT prep. What are those 2-3 things? Just 2-3 things, very simple. So somebody asked, tell me the LRDI strategy from scratch. That's what I'm talking about, these things. Start reading, read a lot, read from diversified stuff. So I know people who read a lot, but how do they read? So they would open the sports page first, spend 45 minutes there, polish off everything over there, absolutely everything, and leave everything else. That's not reading. You're reading, obviously, that's going to help you. But what will happen is that if the passage is from some other area, your reading speed would drop. Your comprehension would, it's going to take a beating, right? So when I say reading, do it for leisure, right? But try to force yourself to read stuff that you don't enjoy reading. Do you get the point? What am I saying? I'm saying try to read stuff that you don't enjoy reading. So for example, in newspaper editorials, you get that philosophical columns. How big is it? 200, 300 words. Read it. So when you do it over a period of time, you'll gradually get comfortable with it. It's going to help you. So I'm saying stuff like that, right? Reading, solving puzzles, Sudoku, if you like, do it, or some other form of puzzles. Just spend time doing anything that sharpens your brain. It's required for logical reasoning. Make yourself comfortable with numbers. Do mental stuff with numbers. So, for example, I'm in the middle of my commute, so I start doing this. Can I do 47 into 23 mentally? Okay, what would I do? 47 into 10, 470. 47 into 20 would be double of 470. Plus, I have to add 47 into 3 into it. Can I not do it mentally? What did you do? Nothing. I mean, rather than just scrolling your Instagram feed, you're utilizing your time that would otherwise be wasted into doing something that's productive, which is very, very helpful for cat. So do stuff like that. So when I say make it a part of your life, this is what I mean. Start solving random puzzles, small puzzles, simple puzzles, to get into that mode where you actually start kind of liking solving puzzles. You may not love it, that's fine. Where you can read all kinds of stuff, because no matter how good we teach, or no matter how hard you try, or how many RC passages you solve, these are again life skills. CAT is an aptitude test at the end of the day. So they test things that they want you to have. They want you to be good readers. They want you to comprehend data quickly. That's the reason they do LRDI and RC and all those things. They want you to be good with numbers, fast at numbers. So can we not do it generally also in our life? Ask yourself this question, and then the answers would be there in front of you without you needing anybody's help in that. So the first step, if you ask me, what should I do, is this. Look at CAT papers, see what it tests you on, right? Look at all these simple things, small puzzles and all, and start doing them. Then after that, ask yourself, could I have done this puzzle which appeared in CAT last time? Maybe not, it's fine. Don't worry about that. Look at the solution. If I had known this way, could I have done that? Maybe yes, I did not learn it this way. And that's how it progresses, right? So don't set very ambitious targets for yourself in the beginning. Oh, people do it so quickly. Sir ne bhi bataya, jaldi se ho jata hai. So I'll know 15 days I'll master it. In a month I'll be good at it. Because if you do it like that, you are in for a disappointment. You would feel like at the end of 4 weeks, no, I've not improved. People are doing this much, I'm doing this. So don't compare yourself to anyone. Look at how you can improve. And 9 months is a long time that way, right? You can definitely do it. So start by looking at the papers, what comes. Start with simple, basic stuff. Start with, I mean, if you are doing lectures, if you are enrolled with us, start with the basics lectures first. Don't think like, this is simple. What would I gain by doing these basic things? No. If you don't do them, probably you'll be able to manage. If you don't do one or two, maybe you'll be able to manage 3 or 4. But lecture 5, 6, 7 may use some concept that we taught in one. So go in order. Do the exercise sheets in order. They are there in that order for some reason. Follow the pedagogy, the methodology, and then it's going to work for you. So this would be advice for everyone and for every subject, right? I'm looking at your questions in a way. Okay, sir, I'm 23 graduate and I failed CAT for third time. My mistake was I always started late. Now everything is getting overwhelming. मैंने कोई skill वाले courses भी नहीं किए because थोड़ा ज़्यादा serious थी. Now I cannot understand. Okay. Okay, Tanu, if the problem is that you think that because of this gap of 2-3 years you will be struggling in the interviews next year, I would say don't think about it this stage. You need to clear the first hurdle first. Fine. So you are thinking about, it's like you are already thinking about, how am I going to deal with a bad boss? A bad boss would happen later. The CAT would happen first, then the interview would happen, then you would get into a B school, then after 2 years you'll probably get a job, and after that the boss would happen. So I mean, just giving extreme example to make you understand what you're thinking of at this stage doesn't make sense. Think about clearing CAT first. People with 2 years, 3 years, even 4 years gap, that's not advisable. That's not the ideal thing, right? Clear the interviews. So don't worry about what has happened. You cannot control that. Think about stuff that you can control. What can you control at this stage? I'll give you a way through which you can decide your future course. Why do you want to do an MBA? Ask yourself this question genuinely. It can be I mean, it's not an interview answer, but the reason can be that I don't have too many options. I want to do well in life. I want to earn well. I want to make my parents proud. Whatever. These are not interview answers, mind it. यहाँ पर हम बात कर सकते हैं इनके बारे में. This can be any other reason. So if you think you don't have any other career path that's apparent at this stage, and this looks like the best, stick to it. Now don't worry about what's going to happen in future. So if you're thinking about you wasted 2 years, 3 years, whatever, don't think about it. If anything, you have to try and extract some learning out of it. What do I mean by that? So if you did not make it in the last 2 years, 3 years, 1 year, whatever, think about what went wrong. Where did I go wrong? You might have had a bad day. That's possible. But it's also possible that you did not work hard enough, that you're not using the right resources, right? Any of this could have happened to you. So what actually happened? Now, if you can understand what happened to you, and then you can work on it, by all means, do it again. And don't worry about what's going to happen in the interview and what am I going to explain to the panel and all. They will understand. People do it. It's not abnormal. The problem is, as I've been telling to all these interview aspirants these days, the problem would be indecision. The problem would be if you're directionless. The problem would be when you do not know why do you want to go to OBA school. The problem would be when you would not be able to explain this 2-3 year gap. Talk about it. It's manageable. As far as continuing your preparation or doing something else is concerned, weigh your options. Look at your options. If you have a better option and if you think you're more suited to it, go there. But if you think MBA is still your the best career path for you and this is going to pave the way for you, stick to it. But what do you have to do? First, take a piece of paper and write down, what did I do wrong last time or suboptimally last time? Can I fix it this time? इस बार कुछ अलग करूंगी क्या? If the answer is yes, by all means, go ahead, do it. Ronak, yes, with a 777 profile, people always get into all kinds of B schools. Maybe not a top I am, because they have actually started putting a lot of emphasis on profiles and all. But yes, B schools, good B schools, get a top percentile, you'll definitely eligible to get into a top B school. Don't worry about that. It's fine. It's absolutely okay. Absolutely not a problem. Sagar, if you're planning for CAT 27, we would not have anything specific for you at this stage. And what I would advise is that if you look at this YouTube channel, you'll find a lot of stuff, a lot of useful stuff for you. Start going through it gradually. I mean, it'll take you some time to do it. So by doing it this way, by the time we launch something for CAT 27, you would already be in a position that you'll be ahead of so many people, right? So don't waste this time. I'm good that you're here on this chat asking questions. It means you're very serious about it. CAT is not about possessing high IQ. Obviously, it helps, right? Or high intelligence, or all those being a genius. No, it's not about that. It's about discipline, and it's about keeping yourself motivated, super motivated for the next 9 months. These are the things that see you through in CAT, not any genius. So the fact that you're here, that you're looking at it, that you're trying to understand what it takes is good enough. So stay motivated for the next, for you, in your case, it'll be 2 years, and it'll be good for you. I've started the CAT preparation, but I cannot make a strategy for execution. बहुत छोटी सी चीज है. Just listen to it. When you talk about strategy, we put a lot of emphasis on strategy. And in fact, trust me, I know people who would spend a lot of time making strategy and then remaking strategy and then again tweaking it. No, it is simple. Strategy means you can give it a couple of hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, you can give it a day. After that, even if you give your strategy a complete day, you look at all the YouTube videos available, this is what you're going to do, I know that. You have to zero down on one strategy. Now, when you're done with that, start acting on it. The next day should not start like, I don't think my strategy is good, I need to change it. And then again, the process starts. You start reworking on it. And the next day also goes, and you're again making a strategy. 2 days pass, and they've got now 2 parallel strategies. There's bound to be a conflict. The third day comes, I think about which of the 2 was right. I think I can go back to the earlier one, or maybe a hybrid of the 2. A third strategy comes. You know what? The month passes, you don't do anything, you're just making strategy. And after a month, you are lamenting, regretting the fact that I did not do anything in the last 1 month. I wasted my time. I'm nowhere. How would I make it? I'm a fool. I'm an idiot. Things like that. What is the solution? A very simple solution. So anybody who says, "Sir, how do I start? How do I execute?" By working on it, acting on it, get started right now. So if you know, if you got an idea, so for example, if you tell me, "Sir, how do I start LRDI?" You've not joined a course, it's okay. You've not taken any subscription, it's fine. Look at this channel, type LRDI, you'll find 500 videos, right? Whatever the first video that comes on a screen, there'll be a question in it, right? If it's an LRDI video, start solving it. That's how you start. Very simple. Isse aasan kya ho sakta hai? If you don't get it, if you get it, wonderful. Give yourself a pat on the back, go to the second one. If you don't get it, the solution is there right in front of you. Can it get any easier? It's so accessible, it's so easily available for you. This is how you execute. This is how you start. Do it for 5 days, and you would, gradually start getting the confidence. It's not that difficult. No, I can do it. It doesn't look that tough. Maybe yes, it'll require some effort, because you must have सबने थोड़ी बहुत science पढ़ी है. You've heard about inertia. So currently, it's inertia of rest. You need a push, and then you'll start moving. Once you start moving, you'll keep moving. So anybody who's stuck, you're asking me this question, so how do I start? You are waiting for that perfect strategy to start. There's nothing in this life which is perfect. We just try to optimize stuff, right? We're optimizing things all the time. Get moving, get going, get acting. And you would find your answers yourself most of the time once you start acting on it. Start acting. I told you how to start. If nothing else, no subscriptions, no courses, nothing, just use this channel to get started. After a week, the momentum will build. And then you will ask me targeted questions. What do I mean by that? Sir, it looks good. I can do the easier puzzles now. But for the tough ones, I still struggle. What do I do? Questions like that. Not like, how do I start? Start from this channel. I hope I gave your answer. Yes. Pratik, that's important for everyone. When you start, even if you believe you're good, I would say start at a beginner's level. The reason is that I would not want you to feel frustrated, disappointed, demoralized by getting into questions that you ideally should not have started with. If you're super confident, start with that. But if it's still, you find it a little difficult, what you should definitely do is go back, take a step back, and again go to that beginner's level questions first, middle level, and then the tougher level. And this is the ideal way. So if you want to try your hand at tougher questions first, you can have a look at the CAT questions also in the beginning. That's fine. But ideally, you should start at a level which is the beginner's level. If you can crack it fast, wonderful. But even those questions will teach you stuff. Then middle level, then tough level, and then probably some questions of super tough level as well. So that is how you start anything. Okay, so how to find time for college and this prep also. There are people who are working. Okay, I'll not say who are working. There were people who are a student who are working, right? They were preparing. And if they could not attend classes live, they would watch the recordings. But I knew when they asked questions that they have gone through almost all the lectures. So this is possible. You need to find time. Nothing worthwhile in life comes easy. Remember this. Mantra life ka ye. Fine. So if you want this, you need to work for it. Think about people who were working, and still they could find time. You are just in college. I know balancing, juggling the two things is a little challenging, but it's not impossible. With college, 3-4 hours daily for CAT is definitely possible. People do this much with their offices, full-time offices. They go at 9 in the morning and come back home at 7, 8 in the evening. They still find time. Why? Because they do not want to get stuck over there. They want to move ahead in life, and that's why they put in that kind of an effort. You, if you're in college at this stage, are at a slightly earlier stage in life. The question is, do you have a career path in mind right at this stage? No, probably no. If you have, wonderful. If no, is management something that's going to give you a boost? Do you think it falls in your career plans? Do you think it's going to improve your life, your career? You will progress faster? If the answers are yes, find time. Trust me, when somebody complains about time, about anything in this life, it's mostly about priorities. Trust me, it works like that. So if a friend tells you, you call a friend, do not pick the call and doesn't call you back for 7 days, trust me, it's not about time. It's about priorities in life. So get your priorities right. You get your priorities right, and you will understand how to find time. I have to do this first. Right? I don't know what I'll sacrifice on. Maybe Instagram, maybe Netflix. I don't know, but I'll find time for this because it's important for me. So motivate yourself like that. This is the, what the most important part for CAT or any other competitive exams is to keep yourself motivated. Many people start with us super motivated, 15 days, 20 days, 45 days, and then it fizzles out. Don't do this, and you'll do good. What did I tell you? It's about discipline. Okay, how to build a good and relevant profile? Mohit is asking. Mohit, look, if you're asking me about building a profile for doing well in the interview or to increase your chances of getting into a good B school, I would say don't think too hard about it. Right? So don't build a profile to get into an Indian B school for the sake of it. Do stuff that you like doing. You get the point. So what I'm saying is that if you're in college, for example, if you're in college, you like debating, for example, participate in that. You like sports, participate in that. Do not just join an NGO for the sake of it because you think it would add to your profile. Not for Indian B schools, at least. If you are genuinely interested in an NGO, then you can do that. It's fine. It's going to work for you. But don't do anything like this, of this type, to get into a B school, especially an Indian B school. So if you are interested in Indian B school, what do you need to do? You need to work on an English, quant, and reasoning. Work on those skills. Probably work a little bit on your communication, on your general knowledge, and all these things. And they're going to go a long way in helping you get into a dream B school, your dream B school, right? Don't get too obsessed with the idea of building a profile. That works mostly in case of B schools in the Western world. So don't think too much about it. Whatever you enjoy doing, do it. The only suggestion that I can give here is, because you're asking a question like this, is whatever you do, build depth in it. Fine. So rather than expanding your interest areas horizontally, like I'll play this and this and this and this 4 games. No, let's say play one, play it well, know about it, so that you can talk about it. Right? You have some interest, your hobby. Don't get into 10 things. But whatever you do, show depth. This is what they would check at the time of the interview. And this would be building your profile. If you want to build it at this stage, from this very stage, think about, if somebody asks me about my interests, what are the 2 things I'll talk about? Start building on them. So it should not be artificial. It should be something that you actually enjoy doing. And then it would flow in the interview very naturally. This would be the meaning of building your profile for an Indian B school. I hope I've made it clear, Mohit. Okay, IMT Ghaziabad versus Irma versus Mica. First piece of advice, convert these 3 and then come to me with this question. Chalo, I'll add something else to it, otherwise आप बोलोगे जवाब नहीं दिया sir ने. These are 3 different B schools, very different B schools. So Irma, if you talk about Irma, for being Irma, it would be the best in its category. The same goes for Mica. Mica is not in a B school. It's a school of communication. So if you're interested in branding, communication, all those things, Mica is the best in the world, best in the country, I would say. Right? So there would be people, and I know people like that, who left IIM Ahmedabad for Mica. Jana hi Mica tha. It can happen. So Irma and Mica are very specialized that way. IMT Ghaziabad, good in its own right, but would not compare to Irma and Mica when it comes to these things. Now I'll come to the most important thing. Convert the 3 and then ask me this question. I'll give you 15 full minutes to answer this in detail and help you select one of the 3, right? Work on this first. Sir, how to practice and what should be the strategy for group discussion? Topics related to GD generally asked. So I'll clarify this for you. If you're asking me about CAT 26 and it's not your GD in the next 15, 20 days, just one thing, read newspapers. This would be it. You do not need to build any specialized knowledge for participation in group discussions. In fact, I'll clear this misconception also. They do test your general knowledge. They want you to be well read. They want you to be abreast of all the latest happenings in the world, but it's not a test of general knowledge. Neither GD nor your personal interview. They check you more on the way you think, on reasoning, on how you think, how you respond, right? These kind of things, thought clarity, not on the basis of the GDs wherever they happen. Even if they are like if it's an abstract topic, no knowledge is required. But even if it's something on which you require some knowledge and some knowledge would help, you would not get points mostly on the basis of what you say. And what you say in the sense, the facts that you use, but mostly on the basis of the argument. These are two different things. So get this right. I'm not saying don't read or don't prepare. Yes, do it. They'll help you. I mean, if you're well read, they'll help you frame the arguments also, cogent, valid, solid arguments, right? So that's important. But don't worry too much about the content of GDs. It would be mostly about uh, your reasoning, the arguments you present on the basis of reason, not like that. So don't worry too much about it. But yes, keep reading. That's going to help you obviously at the time of interviews and GDs. Anusri, that was for you. Yes, Somil, 275 days is more than enough for your preparation. Look, these are things. I mean, if you come to me after 25 days and would ask me, sir, is 250 days enough? So I would say, yes, it's enough. Then somebody sitting in the session would say, then why did I waste 25 days when 275 is enough, 250 is also enough? Look, this is something for which, uh, you know, you, you keep investing time, you keep giving it time, and you keep getting better, right? So people manage it in 100 days as well. People manage in 200 days. But if you've got 275 from this stage, would you want to waste time? No. So get started. To answer your question, is 275 days enough? Yes, yes, good enough. There are people, who have already started. There are people who would start in June also, but who would have a better chance? I don't know. I'll not compare like that. But obviously, who started early, whoever started early, presents himself, gives himself, herself a better chance of having cracked the exam. So yes, that is like really important that you give it as much time as possible. As I already said, start from the basics. If the problem is inertia, that you just get up daily and think about what should I do, how should I do, and then you keep thinking about the whole day, and then you go to sleep, and the next day comes and you again come back to the same question. You're just working in that loop. So don't do it like that. Think about what you can do. Something as basic as starting from the videos on this YouTube channel, and get started. Once you build some momentum the next 5 7 days, think about, do I need a subscription? Do I take a batch? Do I start studying with that? And that's how it's going to start. Mayur, you can obviously talk about it. No problem. You have some small family business. You're working there. You don't have any income from it, but you are getting valuable experience. Look, people from family businesses think like it's a waste of time. It's not a waste of time. I'll tell you the difference. You are running in a in corporate, proper corporate, something not related to you. You'll get a work certificate. So many B schools ask you to fill forms in which they would ask you not to put experience in your family businesses, right? So this is the concern. Don't put it, right? So on paper, it might look like a gap, so it's definitely not a gap. When they'll ask you this question, what were you doing? You were sitting at home for 2 years, 1 year, whatever. Then you can talk about it. Nobody can stop you from talking about it. So they would not say, no, we asked you not to put it in the B school form, so you cannot talk about it here. No, I'll talk about it. This is what I did. You asked me this question, what I did. So I'm telling you what I did. And then speak with conviction. You've actually worked there, right? If you've worked there, you can talk about it. And working in family businesses present a great advantage. I'll tell you, when you join corporate as a fresher, the kind of stuff that they make you do at times would be so trivial. Feel like, what am I learning here? Will not happen most probably in a family business wherein you would be a little more in control. I don't know how your family treats you, but there's a chance that you'll get do something which actually adds a lot of value to you, which then becomes like really important. You can talk about it. So don't worry too much about it. Don't join any random job just because you think saying that I work in my family business is going to go against you. No, it doesn't go against you. The reason why they ask you not to put it in your B school forms and in front of that work experience column is because a lot of people actually fudge that. it's fuzzy, nakli hota hai wo. And that's the reason they would say, don't put it over there. But you can obviously talk about it, no problems there. Whatever I'm saying applies to an average student. Absolutely. I mean, we don't teach geniuses, and there's nothing like a genius. I haven't heard about it. Genius is like 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration. Everybody is average. I mean, you can think of any simple example. There was a point when you did not know how to ride a bike, isn't it? You learned it. People learn it. You don't know how to drive a car. Do it. The chances that all of you sitting here, nobody knows how to drive a truck. Fine, that 16 wheel, 24 wheel vehicles, the big truck. What do you think? You cannot learn it. It might seem impossible at this stage. You'll probably learn it in a week. People do it. All kinds of people do it. In fact, this is a job that's not much respected also in India. So don't you think you'll be able to do it? You don't know how to fly a chopper right now, but given a chance, you'll probably do, because so many people do. So it's like that. Everybody, all of us, and we have different natural skills, I understand, but still when we start, we're all average. And then we adapt, we grow, we become better. And that depends mostly on the kind of efforts, the kind of work that we are willing to put into it. You be willing to put in the efforts, and the progress would show. The pace at which you progress would be different for different people, because we have different natural abilities. So some would learn English faster than they do in Quant, and some would be better at LRDI and not so much in English. So it depends on so many factors. There are some people who are naturally blessed and they'll do better in both. But when we start, all of us are at average level. So I haven't really seen too many people who, without any preparation, get into CAT and get 100%. I know it takes a lot of effort. So yes, tell yourself, I'm equipped, I'm eligible. What I need is discipline. What I need is motivation to keep working hard for the next 9 months. Obviously, the right resources, the right guidance, and then it'll be up to it. Aman says, sir, how to develop LRDI skills? How to develop LRDI skills without coaching? Okay, Aman, I already told you, if you don't want to subscribe for any course, don't do it. Don't force yourself to do it. Browse this channel, you'll find a lot of stuff. बहुत सारा कुछ मिलेगा आपको. Go through it and see what makes sense to you. I would not even tell you do this first, that first. Just type LRDI here. You're talking about LRDI skills, no? Do those 100, 200, 300 videos first. Get a test series at least. The least that I would recommend to anyone who's a serious aspirant is a test series. Get a test series, start solving stuff. The order would remain the same. Topic tests first, then sectional tests, those 40-minute full-length tests, and then full-length tests, I mean, for a section, and then those 2-hour full-length tests. That would be the sequence. Topic tests first, 15, 20, 25 minutes. Sectional tests, those full 40-minute sectional tests, and then all 3 sections combined, 2-hour tests. This would be the sequence. So basics first, you can use this channel if you are not willing to subscribe for a course, right? Then testing by getting a test series. So this should be the way for you, Aman. So I've got 2 similar questions. Prajwal is saying, sir, how do we develop problem solving skills for LRDI and quants, as in how do we develop skill of solving new questions? And okay, it's the same person, I believe. I'm from pharma background. I cover fundamentals in quant, but I get stuck at problem solving. I understand. So what you are basically trying to say is that you can understand stuff, and this happens to so many people. You can understand the way the problem is being solved. You can understand the solution, but when it comes to new problems, you get stuck. So this is what you're saying. So two ways that it can be addressed. One would be by doing a lot of problems. Fine. So you understand that this is endless. If you are doing, let's say, 12th standard CBSE preparation, and get into NCERT books, do everything, and at a stage you would say, now I can address everything here. This is not true for any aptitude test. So for example, for time and work, you do 100 problems, you might fall short. You do 200, you might still fall short. You do 1,000 problems, then you would do almost everything, but there still can be a problem that can stump you. So this is what you're talking about. This happens with everyone. You don't have to worry about it. So what is it that you have to do? You have to, one, increase your exposure. What do I mean by that? So if you've done 10 questions somewhere, 50 questions somewhere, make it 200. What will happen is that even if the problem is new, and it would always be new in an aptitude test, it would look familiar. It would look familiar because you've done so many questions, right? So this is one thing that you'll do. So you'll reduce your chances of bumping into something that looks absolutely 100% new, because you would have done so much by that time. So this is one. Two, when you're talking about this, in the process of solving all these questions, when your brain would sharpen, isn't it? One piece of advice for you would be that when you solve any problem, do not just jump into the solution. These days you get solutions for everything. Even for test series there are video solutions. Earlier they were not. So I believe at times those times were better. Why? Because when I was, for example, preparing for CAT, I did not have access to video solutions, not even teachers. Beyond the point, after the classes, it was all gone. What would I do then? If I'm stuck at a problem, I would probably grapple with it for the next half an hour. And at times, that half an hour used to be so very productive for me, because all those thought processes would open all those neural networks for me. I'll think about this path, this path, this path, 1, 2, 3, and method number 5 is going to work for me, and that used to contribute so much to me. So you get the point. What tends to happen now, because of the availability of all this content, is because it feels like I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. At times we don't give enough time to the problems. So what happens is that we understand the problem, the solution and everything, but we actually did not give our brain enough time to get equipped with those problem solving skills. You get the point. So if you're somebody who has spent enough time solving problems, you're good at problems, but somehow the new stuff comes and you still, there's a chance you'll get stuck. What I'll advise right now at this stage for you would be, stop looking at solutions. Force yourself to work through it. Right? One, you would again tell me, sir, I get stuck. I'm still stuck. I gave it 30, 40 minutes, I'm still stuck. Another suggestion for you, look at a part of the solution. You do it. Have you ever tried doing push-ups? If somebody, they would say, start with 5, start with 10, make it 15, make it 50. It goes like this, right? There are people who cannot do even one push-up. There are people like that. What would they tell you? Don't do it on your toes, do it on your knees. If you tried that, it's easier. So that's what I'm saying. You cannot do it, the whole thing on your own. What are you expected to do? What are you supposed to do? Don't do the whole thing on your own. Look at a part of the solution. You'll get a hint, a clue. Kuch pata chalega na? After that, take it up from there. You have to devise your ways, because you're different. You're different from any other individual. So your problems are unique. So think of what I can do about it. What is it? What troubles me? I generally cannot get the opening on an LRDI set, for example. Right? So I would force myself to think about it. If I still cannot get it, okay, I'll just look at a clue. So that way, you're doing it for yourself. They said, gym mein trainer help karta hai na? They'll help you in pushing the weights when you're new, and then leave it to you. Okay, now you're equipped. You can do it on your own. That way. So all these tools, all these video solutions, teachers available for you, doubt solvers available for you 24/7 are there. These are tools with you. But it doesn't mean that the moment you get stuck, go to them. No. Force yourself to think. The process is going to be a brain sharpening exercise for you. And that's when you start cracking the problems. There'll be a stage when you'll think like, I can do something now. So that's progress. There'll be a stage where you'll say, I can do many of them now. There'll be a stage where you'll say, I can do most of them now. So that's progress. It'll happen gradually. There'll be a point जहां पर आप एक भी नहीं कर सकते. From that point to that point wherein you can do most of them. And I've seen thousands of people acquire this skill just by using brute force, by being disciplined. I cannot give up. This is an important exam for me. What would I do? No matter what, I'm going to solve this on my own. Okay, be practical. When it's been an hour, now you can look at the solution, but force yourself to think, and that's how you're going to get better. Practice this. This is going to work for you. Aman, you are in second year of 3 year graduation, right? So you'll be moving to third year. Yes, yes, yes. Because you will be passing out in 27, I believe. So when you pass out in 27, yes, your score would be valid. CAT 26 score would be valid or can be used by anyone passing out in 27. Just a caveat, some universities clear the degrees very late, like in August, September. Then you might miss the session. So any university that finishes it by June should be okay. So if you are expected to graduate by June 27, June CAT 26 is the exam for you. Current 17 or 7, it doesn't make a difference. Ask yourself this question, and I'll give you 2 3 parameters on which you can judge this. Karan is asking, I just got 17, should I try next year or not? This is incomplete data with me. Ask yourself this question. 2 3 questions I'm asking you. Did I actually put in my best? And it's a very simple question. First one, did I actually put in my best? 2, did I have all the resources I needed? Kuch bhi. Fine. Did I work for the complete year in a disciplined manner? Was my preparation methodical? Did I do tests? Did I analyze my tests? So it's not just about did I work hard enough? No, you need to work hard, obviously, but you need to work hard in a methodical, structured way. No, otherwise, your progress, you would definitely progress in whatever way you put in the effort, but your progress would not be up to the mark, right? So ask yourself these questions. If the answer is yes, I did this, I did this, I did this, I also did this, it means probably this is not for you. I would not say, or not, just motivate you and keep saying, keep wasting time. No, if you did everything, still got a 17, probably this is not for you. Find something else. But if the answer to any of these questions is no, no, I wasted 2 months in between. No, I did not do this. No, I did not take tests. Okay, I took some tests, but I did not analyze them. I never got a chance to work upon my weaknesses. Then, my friend, you have not worked hard enough. You're not worked enough to judge yourself on whether you are good or not. Give it a complete 100% kind of an effort once. If it doesn't work for you, do something else. But at this stage, if the answer is no to any of these questions, you need to give yourself another attempt. And quitting it like a failure would not look good this way, especially at this stage. Accepting your weaknesses is fine. You want to play for the Indian cricket team, for example, and you realize, no, you're not good enough. So that's not weakness, that's a strength. Do not waste much time. You realized cricket is a passion for you. You're not good enough to play IPL or for the Indian cricket team. You do something else in life. You're not quitting. You just were smart and found something else. Right? So it's like that. But for that, you need to at least give it, a passionate attempt once at least, and then you can tell yourself, no, this is not for me. But for that, you need to work hard first. Okay, working लोगों को रोज कितना hours dedicate करना चाहिए? I would not put a time limit like that. A number would be like 4 hours, but then people have jobs, the people who work from 9 to 9 kinds. So I would say a couple hours daily and maybe a slog of 10, 12 hours on the weekend. But if your job allows you to study for 3, 4 hours daily, that would be ideal. And then obviously the weekends would be hectic for you. Make the sacrifice for 9 months and the life would get smoother. So yeah, this is what you need. Yes, I would be taking LRDI for R4 batch. In fact, I can talk about that batch. Many of you asking me this question earlier as well. So we have yeah. So this is the batch that we are starting from 27th of this month. Fine. So this is an all English batch. So Ravi sir, Apoorv sir, Nikita ma'am, and I would be taking it. And this is a complete comprehensive batch, and the subject-wise versions are also available. So Quant would be by Ravi sir and Apoorv sir, and Nikita ma'am is going to take VARC, and LRDI, it'll be all English, would be taken by Apoorv sir and me. So this is about the R4 batch, since many of you asked about it. So this is the one that I'm going to take. For further details, you can go to a website and find everything over there. It's 3 courses, I would say, and they would run parallelly: English, Quant, and LRDI. Start from the basics and build for you gradually. The only expectation would be, and it'll be very structured, and it'll be kind of, if I can use the word spoon feeding, and we'll go slowly, gradually, would, kind of handhold, guide you through it. The only expectation from you would be to listen to the directions the teachers, which is very important, very, very important. You do not have to worry about how we're going to do it. We know our jobs, but you need to put in the efforts, you need to put in the hours, and you need to listen to the directions of the teachers, and then it's going to work for you. 3 subjects parallelly, starting absolutely from the basics. This particular batch would be 100% in English. For anybody who's not comfortable with Hindi or English, you know, Hindi is not a mother tongue, and that's why you're uncomfortable, or you want to learn in that environment that suits a B school more. All your presentations and all those things do happen in English only. Then you can join this one. Okay, Samrit says, I work at IB in HSBC. You have a 11:30 to 8:30 p.m. shift. Which batch will be suitable, and what should be the strategy? Strategy and all we're going to share over there. I discussed about in the beginning of the session as well. You start with the basics and then you go to the testing part. That's there. Samrit, the only problem is that your timing is such that you'll have to watch the recordings. The recordings of everything is available. So whatever we do, the time is 10:30 to 12:30, and then another one like that. So 2 slots, the lectures would be happening. It'll be like 8 to 10 lectures in a week, right? And if you're fine with watching the recordings, it's going to work for you. But for somebody who wants to attend the lectures live with your timing, it may not work. Then you may have to wait for the next one. If you're fine with watching the recordings, you can by all means join this one. Okay, Manish is saying, joined R1. I have completed my worksheets. Should I solve questions from booklets to start giving practice tests or quants? You do a bit of both. You do a bit of both. In fact, if you have completed your worksheets, that's wonderful. Congratulations, you're doing well. You're better than many others who are still struggling with it. So do your booklets, do your practice tests, do everything. If possible, start taking topic tests and all, and you would gradually grow in confidence when you start employing these tools. Don't wait for anything like that. When it comes to testing and all, the more the better for you. And just one piece of advice for you, Manish: when you do tests, serious tests, even booklets or practice tests after this, analyze them well. And so your learning is over for those topics, at least after doing all those lectures and DVPs and all. Now is the time when you start thinking a little bit about question selection, doing the questions slightly more rapidly, a little more swiftly, things like that. So just take care of these things, which would be a little different from learning the concepts first up when you just started. Aman, I would not hard code it like that. You're saying ki, uh, should I do theory LOD, LOD2, PYQ in phase 1 and LOD3 in phase 2? It's not like that. I would put it this way. So the question that Aman is asking is, should I do LOD1, LOD2, difficulty level 1 and 2 in phase 1, and then do phase 3 later, or should I do it together? Depends on your comfort level. So if you can comfortably handle 1, 2, 3 at this stage, I would do it alongside. If you think you're already struggling in 2 and finding it a little difficult to complete it, then you can leave 3 for the next phase. You can just distribute it like that on the basis of how comfortable you're feeling right now. The answer is not a simple yes or no, because it will be different for different people. So some people would be now so comfortable with level 2, they would think like, let me complete 3 as well, because there is no paucity of questions. There's so many question banks available. There's so much data in test series and all. So all that is there. So don't worry about it. The questions will never get exhausted. If you can do 3, do 3 now. If you find it a little difficult, leave it to be done at a later stage. Nandini, I would not advise that. Nandini is saying, if I start LRDI in July, would that be okay? No, I would not advise that. If you're preparing, do it well, because main focus on Quant and VARC, because they're my weakest. LRDI is strongest. Or you're saying that LRDI, you're average at LRDI. So, if there are 5 levels, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's assume that in Quant and VARC you are at 1, LRDI you are at 3. So you probably want to bring all of them to number 3, level 3, middle level, and then push it up to level 5. No, don't do it like that. LRDI probably, most probably, would become your strength the way it is right now. So why would you want to wait for a few months to start honing your LRDI skills? No, it doesn't make sense. If you're starting a CAT preparation, start with all 3 subjects now. You need to clear cutoffs, right? This is one. But you need to get a heavy score from somewhere. Where would that heavy score come from you? If you're starting Quant and VARC from a position of weakness at this stage, the chances of they becoming a strength are relatively lower. The chances of LRDI becoming that scoring area for you are higher. Work on LRDI as well. Don't do it. No, watching recording is not a problem. So many students do it because the timings do not work for many people. So yes, but whenever you can get a chance to attend the classes live, do it, because interactions with teachers and all, it's going to help you. You'll get motivation looking at all your batchmates classes. You'll be solving some questions live. So whenever you could get a chance to do the sessions live, do it. I would strongly recommend that. If you cannot manage it because of college, because of your work and everything, that's fine. Many people watch the recordings. Okay, best source of reading. Just yes, we do give a lot of content. That's true. We do give you a lot of content. You know what? It's better than having limited content and then waiting for stuff. So we give you so much content. We actually give you a lot of content. I agree. Fine. That if you just keep trying to catch up, it's still going to work for you. So at some stage, we would tell you that if you think you are equipped, you can start taking tests. Fine. So that's going to work for you. Not many people are able to complete everything, and that's understandable. This is fine. But trying to catch up with a lot of content is still better than doing only limited content and still then struggling with stuff. So that's not really good. That's the reason we actually give you a lot of content. Yes, we do. Okay. I find philosophy, history, arts type topics hard to comprehend. Can I use ChatGPT to mix an interesting topic with boring topic for cat level article reading? You can use ChatGPT. Fine. ChatGPT is not like a taboo. Many people, when they talk about all these AI models, will say it's a no-no, a strict no-no. No, it's not like that. But I would say read the real stuff first. So if you don't like, you find all these hard to comprehend, push yourself into reading them. So the first 5, 10, 15 articles probably would look difficult, but do a bit of everything. Read medicine as well, some bit of it, because topics can be from anywhere for RC. So if you read them, I'm not saying you get very interested in them. There are people who are natural readers who will just read anything and everything. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying read enough to get comfortable. If you want ChatGPT to help you with that, it can obviously do that. You have to work on your prompts though. But I would say read the real stuff first. Use internet. I'm not asking you to buy some journals, subscribe to some journals, or get some magazines like that. Find some good resources on the internet for diversified reading. Do that. Do practice for RC directly if you think that is the way. But I would say read the real stuff first from diversified sources and then get into other stuff. Okay, I am 24 history grad with 10 months of freelancing experience and 1 month HR intern. I'm preparing for CAT this year. Is it okay to focus only on CAT prep without a job? I'm not getting any relevant jobs. Right, Raj Lakshmi. It's okay. So you've done an internship, freelancing for 10 months, 1 month HR intern. Since you passed on in 24, you have got around what 12 months of experience. Now you're not getting anything relevant. I would say keep trying. So yes, you can prepare for CAT, not doing anything also, but that's not the best thing to do. If the question is, can I manage that? Yes, you can. But that's not the ideal thing to do. If you can find some freelancing work also, which you used to do earlier, that would work better. Also, in terms of giving you some money, some experience, and also while answering the questions at the time of the interview. I did not get your question. Can I convert FMS Delhi with just 100? With just 100? I mean, you're saying with a top score. Yes, I believe you can. 100% in any case is special. I got 100%. I got a call from IIM Bangalore. I mean, yeah, it can happen in a section also. So if you get a 100 percentile without doing anything much in the other sections also, then also you'll probably get a call. I had a decent percentile in other sections as well, but yes, that is very special. If what you mean by 100 percentile is a very, very good score, then I still think you would get a chance, but you stand a chance. But yes, remember this, that the top B schools are now very particular about the profile. 888 is not bad. So do your best in CAT, try and maximize your score, and yes, you do stand a chance. Right. So if you've got something else to ask, please tell me. And otherwise, I'm going to close the session. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Keshav, I am A and B would be the most finicky when it comes to these things. They would be very particular about academics and all. Because I know a lot of students who, despite getting a very, very good CAT percentile, did not get calls. Even their academics were good. C probably not so much, and other schools probably not so much. So yes, there's still a huge cluster of B schools that would not look so much I would use the word so much at your profiles and your scores and everything, fine, and would still give you calls. A and B are two colleges which are, uh, I don't know, their criteria for shortlisting is a little difficult to understand. At times, people with everything good also do not get a call. Yes, you can join R1 as well. Any previous batch that you've done, R1, R2, R3, if you think you're fine with the recordings and you want to do it quickly, you can join that. You can even transfer batches. All that is flexible with us. They look at the profiles, FMS, SPGen, MDI, not the way the top IAMs look at them. They're very particular. Sometimes I'm doing LRDI and Quant from Rodha, but sometimes I feel I deviated from my path. Remind yourself the goal. What is the goal? To get into a top B school. That is the goal. You remind yourself the goal, and you would never get deviated. Write it somewhere on your desk. This is what I want to get into, or write the name of your dream B school. Say, I want to be here next year in March. I want to be appearing for this interview, and start visualizing about it. It's going to work for you. Look, it happens when you're doing this. This preparation journey is you're alone in this, mostly on your own. Solitary path है उस तरीके से. वहां पर जाकर you'll feel good when you join a B school. So this is a kind of a sacrifice, I'll say, these 10 months, 12 months, 14 months, whatever you call it, if you're thinking about CAT 26. These 9 months would be the toughest when you prepare for CAT. After that, it'll get a little easier. The personality assessment stage, the preparation would be refreshing in that sense. No Quant English, no LRDI at that stage, and will be different things I'll be working on. So look at it phase wise. I'll cover the concepts first. I'll get into test taking. I'll take CAT, then work on continue working for GDs and interviews like that. Break it into small phases. It'll look easier, because when you look at this whole thing now, 12 months, 14 months, it looks huge. Sitting at home preparing all alone, it's difficult. I understand. Make it easier for you. Find ways. I would say break it up into smaller targets, and that's how it gets easier. So, for example, just a week is left for February. What would I do in February? Small goals, and then you have something to look forward to. Make it manage it like that. It's easier. Obviously, way easier for these students who get 100 percentile to get into ABC. It's a top percentile, they'll be considered. I told you about sectional percentile only. Even one section you get 100 percentile, they look at you differently because it's very special. What is the safest score for Aditi? I would still say there's nothing like that, a safe score. But yes, if you want to get into, if you want to do a PhD and all, you not need a 99 and all. A much lower score would do. But if you get a better score, the chances would improve. Yes, if you're talking about the test series, when you looked at the actual question paper, that is also tough. But yes, we'll kind of balance it this time. CAT पे focus करो Keshav. You focus on CAT at this stage. Profile and all, I already told you, that should happen alongside. That should not be the primary goal. You understand? For Indian B schools, work on CAT score, work for your CAT score, and then you can obviously again do other things. But don't do it for getting into an Indian B school. No, don't do it like that. Work on a CAT score, maximize your CAT score, focus on English, Quant, reasoning, right? And alongside, work on a couple of hobbies that you can talk about at the time of interview, if that's the idea. Nivant, if you want to do a second MBA because you're not very happy with your B school, you can do that. People do that, and not many people do that. But since you're just 23, you can think of doing that. And what you can also think about is a 1-year program. So do your research on ISB Hyderabad or IIM Ahmedabad PGPX. Fine. So just keep it on your radar. You can do a full-time 2-year MBA also, but you can think about a 1-year program as well. Do your research on both and see what suits you better. Rodha booklets are never enough. Rodha booklets are supplementary in nature. Right? You do the lectures, you do the DPPs, the sheets, and everything that we do. You take the topic tests. Along with it, Rodha booklets. Some part of it would be Rodha booklets. They're never enough. No, we never said so. You do it along with other content, right? What books or material? I would not suggest any books, any standalone books like that. I would suggest, if you are doing it on your own without any subscription or anything, use this YouTube channel, get a test series. These are the two things at the very least that should get, and that should do the job for you. If you're disciplined, if you're doing it methodically in a structured manner, it should do the job. If you are going in for a proper course, you enroll in one of courses, you do not need to worry about it because it'll have everything for you. Ankit, mentoring is never a problem. All our teachers are available. In fact, we have phone numbers that we share with you. So don't worry about mentoring and all. That is always possible. Whatever you need would be given to you. Don't worry about that. You talk to any Rodha student, Ankit, they would not complain to you about the availability of teachers. You can check. Absolutely, Arnab, absolutely. Diligently doing the classes, you have listed them all. Worksheets, any kind of assignments, tests, that's more than enough. As somebody already said, Rodha gives you more content than what's needed. I agreed. Yes, they do. We do. We give you more content than what is needed. But that's better than doing too little. So trying to do too much is better than, we give you, let's say 100 units is required. We give you 250, 150, and hypothetical numbers like that. You'll end up at 100. You would not want to give you 100, you look at 100, or not want to give you 70, you look at it, you say, okay, I've just left 20%. So give you so much that even if you leave 20%, you've still done enough to clear gap. Just think of it like that. Lalita, I understand doing so many lectures along with work in college is a little difficult. But if you're watching the lectures, recording, for example, you can try different things. Use navigation to change the speed and all. You can watch them at 1.5x. All these kind of things. These are basic, practical things that you can try doing. But one thing is certain. If this is important for you, you'll be able to find time, which I keep saying, which I keep repeating. I know it's difficult. And that's the reason why only few people make it. Not everybody is an MBA from a top B school. So what is it that's different in those people who make it? Despite these hardships, they still keep themselves motivated enough to do it, right? So that's the difference. If you want to be there, you want to belong to an elite group, you have to make some sacrifices. So think where you can find time, from where you can cut time and put it in here, in this prep. You'll find your answers, I'm sure. Arnab, it's not very different. When you're saying how to manage, okay, you're saying R1 student shifting to R3, how to manage VR. Arnab, please write to the support team. They'll answer this question. And about the access and all, I would not know how this would be managed. You're saying that your lectures in R1 would already be at an advanced stage. Then how do you manage this? They would probably be able to handle this issue. All right, folks. So I'll take your leave now. I'll see you again soon in one such session, and we'll probably do some LRDI sets as well. Right. So those of you enrolling, we're going to see you in the classes in R4. Right. I wish you all the best for your preparation. Please keep working really hard, and these are the initial days for you. So good foundation now is going to play a solid role in your preparation going forward. So don't be complacent. Start now and put your best foot forward. I wish you all the best for your prep. I'll see you again. Goodbye.